Yes, dearest beloved divine friends and families, in the raw. This is another episode of RAW.RKs Guyana Free Media, and I'm your friend and your brother Haji, Dr. Ocean Khan, bringing you some updates in post-elections 2020, a time of great excitement and joy in our country. A time now when this is Friday, and if you see this on Saturday, at about 10 o'clock, His Excellency, the President, Dr. Irfan Ali, will be sworn in at the National Culture Center. They have already been sending out invitations to their friends and to their families and their supporters. At this time, I have not received any, but I am not a man who have any kinds of expectations. I do what I have to do from my heart, but I would have loved to be there as having been one of the fighters for democracy, and in particularly for a proper count and a recount, and to take Guyana out of the doldrums of degradation and of shame that we were going through, and it took 5 months. And I was behind it, constantly, daily, putting aside my life, my business. But I have no expectations for anything. My expectation is the blessings of God and the universe. As I bless His Excellency the President and his team and the leaders of Guyana. It's a beautiful time. But Guyana is in a situation with COVID virus, ladies and gentlemen. The coronavirus and COVID virus is a very serious issue, and I thought that in the raw here now that I can do this without any editing, and I can do this and post it out at the earliest opportunity, because I do not want any kind of mass deaths in our country. We have in our country a situation where peoples are misbehaving, have no respect for their fellows, even for their customers. Some customers have no respect for the orders of the rules, the markets, and businesses. In our company, the RAW.RKs Guyana Security Services, and whatever other little businesses we do here, we have a very serious COVID-19 task force within our company, and constant educating and discipline. So I thought it best to talk to you about this, and very soon I'll be going on the road. I'll be taking photos and videos of the city in general, and I will be showing how people are careless. Because friends and family, ladies and gentlemen, many people are wearing their masks, and as soon as they feel a bit of discomfort, they put it down like this. Some people put it up like this, and some people put it like this, and then some people wear it like a grand, humongous, hideous or ugly earring. Friends and family, I want you to listen to me carefully. When you pull this down here, let us say you're wearing it properly, you're moving around, and the COVID-19 droplets and disease and virus is hitting your throat, it's hitting your face, it's hitting your hands. And then you go hold here and put it down, you're putting the disease here. When you pull this down here, the virus that is here, and you put it up back, like this with your finger inside or even outside, you're feeding yourself the COVID-19 virus. When you pull it from your forehead down, you're feeding yourself. And when you keep it like this, it's blowing on the inside part of your mask. And then you put it on. And so you are responsible for your illness and probably infecting your entire family, your colleagues and workers, and creating trauma on our medical system, ladies and gentlemen. Further, I wish to warn everyone to be cautious and to be careful. We cannot depend upon that monstrosity that was not owned by the government, that they seem to smartly wanted to steal from the Ramburans, made an arrangement to pay the man his rent. From then to now, over $60 or $65 million in back rent. Yes, friends and families. And they don't own the property, and then they spent out, the last government, led particularly in this venture by the chairman has to be, he's in charge of the COVID-19 task force, and Mr. Joe Harmon, he was the Director General of the COVID-19 task force. And they do those kinds of things, put the owner in trouble, and put our economy in trouble, and paid out a lot of money just near to the election time in case they lost. Friends and families, let me take this thing off. You see how ugly it looked? I kept that on intentionally. So we cannot depend upon that. So please be cautious with your masks. And I'm seeing the two of these that I have here. And this is in the raw, so we can have a little bit of fun. I'm seeing lipstick here. And I'm seeing lipstick here. Which means my wife is going to murder me. The next thing you might have to do, you might have to attend my funeral. Because that lady is also armed, and she knows karate, and my wife, Lachman Khan, knows judo as well. And the next thing I could be a dead man. I have lipstick all over my face masks. But put the joke aside, these might be hers that I picked up. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family. More on that hospital in a special episode in the Raw, maybe today self. I sent a letter out last night on the topic. And what has happened, it published in 3 newspapers this morning. It shows how topical the subject is. How important this mask and this awareness for social distancing and hygiene with mask wearing are important for our country and to save us. I don't think we have reached our apex, and if we are not careful because of the carelessness in the markets, I think that this government is going to pass a very serious law very soon. And anybody found without their masks will be arrested and inconvenienced, and you might hate the government for that. But it's a good thing. In the markets, the vendors are going to buy. If you go in the fish market, the vegetable, nobody wearing it. They can't breathe this, which is nonsensical. If they fall sick and they have to put the ventilator into them, they could die. There's no guarantee with the ventilator. Then you don't have the good knowledge to put it in and insert all those tubes. It tears your lungs, it tears your throat, it tears your trachea, it could damage your voice box, it could affect circulation, heartbeat, heart rate, kidneys, and then some people have had amputations even and died in some other countries. So friends and families, please use your face mask with sense. Periodically, it is good to sanitize it. DDL has made a very cheap, a good quality sanitizer. It's a green bottle. It's about $900 to $1,000. But some pharmacies, the one in Middle and East Street is selling it for $1,800, which is taking advantage of people. But keep hygienizing yourself and don't try to think you're smart. Some people also say they can't breathe. Well, if you can't breathe a little bit and you feel heat in here, they're feeling hot, that is good. Because the heat that you're producing here is killing the virus. So if some of them manage to penetrate through this or sneak in on the side, your heat of your breath and from your nostrils is helping to kill it. And if you wish to refresh a little bit, go to an open area, a bit breezy, or where nobody else is, take it off, breathe a little bit, breathe, do some exercise and put it on back. Ladies and gentlemen, I, as a citizen of the country, as a peace ambassador, as a lover of Guyana and of all our citizens, I say we need to take care of ourselves. Now, this is the letter I'd like to read to you. It was printed in the Guyana Times, the Chronicle, and in the Stabroek News. And it's a good thing. It was published so it can go to so many people. Obviously, the editors saw the importance of this article that I'm going to read to you now on the topic: face masks are effective only when worn properly, dearest beloved friends and family. And it's published, it went out on the 6th, and it was published in the newspaper, 3 of them at once, on Friday, August the 7th, which is today, the day of recording when you're looking at this. So please pay attention, invite your friends, your families, share this. This is important information. You can always check for all our episodes of the RK's Guyana Free Media on YouTube, RK's Guyana Free Media, and it's also RK's Guyana Free Media on Facebook. Friends and family, ladies and gentlemen, and we watch party. Your friend, your brother, Haji Roshan Khan, in action. Despite being amid a full-blown epidemic, it is sad to see people not taking this issue seriously about COVID-19, ladies and gentlemen, and face masks. Every time I venture out, I come across the same old sight that rattles me, whereby despite the petrifying rise of COVID-19 infection, people are nonchalant or careless and acting like nothing has happened and going on their days as usual, with no care in the world. Just Wednesday alone, we saw Guyana recording 12 new cases. And the total number now at an escalating 507 cases for a small country like ours. Ladies and gentlemen, confirmed cases of COVID-19. My goal of this missive or advisory is to highlight one troubling issue that I have noticed. A large number of people are either wearing their masks wrong, with their noses out, tucked under their chin, around their necks like a chain, and as a headband, dripping down their ears like a giant, and I will add the word ugly, earring. Or not wearing them at all, I will admit. Wearing a mask is not always comfortable. And even more so under the scorching sun. But given the circumstances we find ourselves in, I would rather push through some sweat than to be attached to a ventilator, which could be a killer machine as well. Studies have shown that even while ventilators help you breathe, they sometimes lead to complications, such as lung damage, infections, vocal cord problems, blood poisoning, amputations, just to name a few. So the choice is clear as day, especially since so many studies have shown the effectiveness of masks and wearing them correctly in stifling the COVID-19 spread. It is important to note how masks work. They work to slow airborne or respiratory infections. First, it must be understood that viruses do not float around alone. They fly out of the mouth in droplets of moisture and are heavy enough to fall within 6 feet or so. They can go that far, ladies and gentlemen. Any person within this range could get infected with the virus. You walk with your shoes, you could pick it up. In my compound here, ladies and gentlemen, a commentary, I have a special mat that collects some mixture of water and bleach that anyone entering the compound must step into that water to bleach their shoes or to cleanse the bottom of their soles in case they're bringing this disease from outside. These droplets are, back to the article, these droplets are so tiny they float around on air droplets. That's the danger. So it could become airborne. So, ladies and gentlemen, the commentary, when it's floating, airborne, and a heavy wind come, it could take it far away. Far, far away. And people could get sick and die. It could even enter homes from the outside. However, back to the article, however, with the mask on, it creates a warm, humid space between your mouth, nose, and the mask. Studies have confirmed that if it feels hot or humid in your mask, that it means it is working. In this light, when you speak, cough, or sneeze, the large droplets do not have time to evaporate and are thus captured in the fabric of the mask. Of course, an individual viral particle is smaller than the weave of most fabrics, but any droplet that does not get through now has less momentum and thus cannot travel far. In this way, wearing a mask and wearing it correctly is a sign that you want to protect others and have them protect you. COVID-19 is a public health crisis, and we need to work under the notion that anyone we run into could potentially infect us. This is the ugly reality of this epidemic. This is why it is advisable to stay home. Only venture out when you absolutely must. And if you do have to go out, always practice social distancing. Try to stay 6 feet apart. Avoid handshakes and hugs. Wear your masks and hand or in the motion of Hindu brothers and sisters. If greeting each other, Muslims are accustomed to hug. No more hugging. The Hindu have a fantastic system. Their way is namaste, and you maintain your distance. The ancient civilization of India understand a thing or two. We wanted camaraderie by embracing anyone who accepts Islam. But we can also say, Assalamu alaikum. May the peace, mercies, and blessings of God be with you. A very good morning in the name of Lord Jesus Christ for you, or a very good morning in the name of the Almighty God Elohim or Jehovah. And you don't have to hug or touch anybody, friends and family, ladies and gentlemen. As for those who do not wear their mask the right way, they need to understand that the risk of spreading and catching COVID-19 increases. When the mask is not covering your nose and mouth, you are rendering the mask not very useful or potentially even useless. When pulled down and left to rest under the chin, the mask gets in contact with the neck, and the debris and possible germs that has accumulated there, the germs that have accumulated there is now transferred to the masks. And I will add, and therefore when you put it up into your mouth and breathing chambers of your body. For this reason, masks must be properly sanitized or cleaned prior to use. Masks are essential. I repeat, masks are essential when around gatherings of people, especially since studies have found that many carry the virus undetected. And ladies and gentlemen, some people might mean well, I don't have it, but they could have it and it don't pass on. I beg your pardon? They might have it not knowing and then they pass it on. I repeat, they might have it not suffering the consequences of it, not realizing, and then pass the germ on unwittingly, unknowingly. So you could have it and I could have it. This is why no embracing, no shaking of hands, no eating from the same plate. My divine friends and family. If the masks become bothersome, I would suggest going to a secluded area where no one is around so that you can take it off for a few minutes of relief. Further, I wish to add that the mask is not necessary when you are driving with no passengers in the vehicle because you don't need that anymore. And it's always better to drive with your windows open to get the fresh airs in. But if you're in a car alone, why do you wear a mask? It's unnecessary. Right, back to the article. I reiterate that masks cannot stop the pandemic on their own. They are best used in other safety measures, as hand washing, personal hygiene, and social distances. I repeat, they are best used in and with other safety measures, such as hand washing, personal hygiene, and social distancing. And about hand washing, ladies and gentlemen, or sanitizing, a lot of people just do this, and as general they finish. They forget to rub the thumbs. They forget to rub the fingertip in the center and clean your palms. Because when they do this, they don't clean their palms. And then they forget to rub in between their fingers and to slide your rings. And around here, if hair is exposed, you pass it over there as well. I'm happy that I'm giving you these messages. And closing off paragraph. In these testing times where we are lacking adequate virus prevention, we have to rely on each other to stay COVID-19 or coronavirus safe. In every pandemic in history, it is the actions and choices of individuals, people that have made the difference. And wearing a mask sends a message that we are all in this together. It is this feeling we all need right about now. So please practice safety. Let us applaud the PPPC for being victorious. Let us wish the APNU party to be a good opposition, a positive one, and hope that together they can create the atmosphere for good communication, decency, and respect. Friends and family, your brother, me, Haji, Dr. Ocean Khan, saying thank you for tuning in to this, the RAW.RKs Guyana Free Media. Farewell, friends. And remember, this is in the raw, no operator.